Oh.
Welcome to Undercooked.
Welcome to Undercooked analysis.
Analysis. And tonight we're here. You know what? Thank you for the segue. I think. Do you think we're all suitably warmed up and ready to think critically about things?
I'm here and my brain is working. So yes,
that
good. Makes one of us.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes one of us.
But PD, like your whole thing is your professional brain, no thoughts, head empty, right? Like that's your whole thing, right?
Yeah. That is absolutely true.
And I mean that in the best way possible. By the way.
Oh, no, 100%.
By the way, for everybody who is joining us, it has been almost a month.
It's been.
Fuck. Anyway, yeah.
Well, I mean, the reason it's been a month
Walked into that one.
is because you basically spent months working on a Midnight Marinara to give it the space to be able to be like, here, enjoy this. And then at the time when this was going to be released, you were like, oh shit, this is also going to be released at the same time that Darkly Lit and Jameson tapes are coming out.
Yeah, I figured I'd give all these shows some room before this show comes in. Not to say like this show steals other shows' thunder, but I mean,
it would just feel overcrowded.
That's like three podcasts that are over probably 40 minutes long in a row in some capacity. By the way, go listen to those. They're good. I already listened to. We're going to get the plugs in here early. Go listen to Darkly Lit, and then also go listen to the Jameson tapes. Darkly Lit, we talk about A Head Full of Ghosts by Paul Tremblay, which is very, very good. And if you go to Darkly Lit, you can hear Alan and Abysme talk about the first 3 episodes of the Twisted Metal series.
Ooh.
90s kids remember.
Sounds enticing.
That was a good voice. I like that.
And today we are sponsored. No, we're not sponsored.
Oh, yeah. I forgot to mention. Actually, this is very important. Guys, ladies, gentlemen, everybody in between who is listening to this show, we've sold out.
No.
We are shells.
Oh.
So this episode of UCA is brought to you by Raid Shadow. No. Got you. Actually, it's brought to you by mind-blowing facts about the planet's strangest animals.
Hey, that sounds familiar.
It sure does, I'm sure.
What?
Do you want to introduce our guest?
I guess I should introduce our guest because it turns out we have with us some of our old and dear friends who we haven't chatted with in some time.
So old, like 69 years old.
And so old. So
it's been 85 years. I can still smell the paint.
Okay, Rose. Thank you, Rose. Oh my gosh.
We're never gonna get introduced. We'll just keep cutting.
Okay. So that time has passed. It's time to okay. Well, we have the artist. I would like to introduce the artist currently known as Princess Dank.
Oh, hi.
Hello.
Whoa.
That's
hello.
Hello. Wait. Why are you saying hello?
I just really like Princess Dank. So.
Oh, okay. Hello.
Don't we all?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know because no thoughts, head empty. So I don't know if I like Princess Dank.
Well,
I do.
Well, my question for the naysayer in here is now that Princess Dank has gone 3D, like Shrek 3D.
Yes. To answer your question before you ask it, yes, the next step is to create a musical. Yes.
Good.
Okay.
Well,
no, what were you going to ask?
It's surprising you picked it up. That's exactly what I was going to ask, because when are we going to get the
Princess?
I was going to see if you felt different about Princess Dank now that they've gone in a third dimension.
They're a sellout punk bitch. That's how I feel.
Well, that's because they're sponsored by NordVPN. Anyway.
I just want to tell you, I'm contractually obligated to tell you about my sponsor today, Surfshark, actually. I'm sorry. Please continue actually conducting your.
Never gonna finish this episode.
No, we're not.
The longest UCA.
Future Maureen is going to edit this to make it feel much shorter than it actually is. But we've actually been here for about 6 days right now, just laughing about just all kinds of stuff.
I haven't eaten in 4 days.
It's an endurance podcast. We're doing it for charity, and that charity is Squarespace. So Squarespace.
Oh, I was about to make a timely and probably politically incorrect joke. So I'm glad that you said Squarespace before I could say the charity that potentially is holding more than $500,000.
Oh, geez. Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah, I don't know. Tell me about it later. But
all right. So you want to hear a horror story?
Yes.
I'll stop. I will
so
stop.
No shit, I was in a charity. All right, but also moving along, we have the author of Mind-Blowing Facts About the Planet's Strangest Animals, Kylie King.
That's me. I did that. And actually, at this very moment, right now as we're recording, the unboxing video just went up.
Hey, yo.
Oh!
Yeah, it just posted.
Okay, I need to watch that later on.
If you want to see me be a goof for 12 minutes,
yes,
then you can.
Always.
You know what?
I'll watch you be a goof for 24 minutes.
You're gonna watch it at half speed.
Waiting. Let's just do a reaction stream right now on the podcast. Let's watch it.
Everyone will love that.
I recorded it like 3 hours ago. I don't remember any of it, so it's fine.
Oh, you'll get to go to it with fresh eyes then.
Yeah, exactly.
A reaction to your reaction, if you will.
Yeah, this is like reaction inception.
This episode is brought to you by Chris Nolan. Anyway, now that we have to get all the timely shit out of the way. I mean, the writer's strike is over. SAG-AFTRA strike is over. We can talk about struck work now. Not that we ever really. I don't fucking know. Hey,
Hi.
Hi.
Kylie.
Yes.
Hello.
Tell us a little bit about mind-blowing facts about the planet's strangest animals, if you please.
It's a book that talks about animals that I can almost guarantee you've never heard of. It has, I think it ended up being 64 animals in it.
It is. Survey says, since I have the book in front of me.
I'm almost certain. It's 64.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think
64.
Well, the back says over 60.
Over 60. Oh, we'll just say that there are over 60 animals, unique animals.
60 plus unique animals, all invented from your imagination. Because we've never heard
made
of these
all
before.
of these up.
So you're probably wondering to yourself, why are we discussing a non-horror book in a horror literature?
Well, because it's about the strangest animals, and strange equals terrifying, in some places. No,
it very much can. Oftentimes, the strange is what leads to the horrifying. So yes.
Yeah, we're going a little off what the normal read a short story.
Yeah, because again, we're shilling this product. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry. We were out, full disclosure, we were sent a review copy.
This is my first arc. I'm so happy.
And we did read it. I very much enjoyed it. There's still some of it. I haven't read it all entirely yet, but I'm going through and picking animals and reading them and enjoying them. And then, just kind of going back and forth and all through it. You don't have to read it from cover to cover necessarily. Just go through it, pick an animal that looks interesting, read about that, go back the other way, pick another animal, read it upside down, pick a third animal. You're going to need to read it upside down if you're going to read about the bats that are in here, but
It's a very colorful book, which I really like. And there's some good pictures of a lot of different animals. So the idea behind the podcast this episode is that we were going to look through these strange animals and try to discuss how you can get inspiration from animals for spooky or horror literature. The problem is the animals you chose are too cute.
Well, you say that now, but I mean.
Well, then I got to
you get to arthropods, and then you're like, oh dear.
Yes, As soon as I got to arthropods, I'm like, fuck this shit, I'm out.
That's a common thing. But I think most average people, I mean, like your run of the mill person on the street would look at an arthropod and at very minimum go, ugh. Which is unfair, of course.
I will start this off with saying what I thought was the creepiest thing that I'm like, haha, if I saw this in real life, I'd be like, burn it with fire.
Please don't.
But please don't. Is the Peruvian sand runner. Holy shit, this thing.
Solifuges. Yeah.
Yep.
Camel spiders in general are just terrifying.
Look at this fucker. It's just like, it has mandibles. Fucking mandibles.
What can you tell us about the Peruvian sand runner?
Well, I can tell you that if you try to Google it, you won't find it by that particular name, because it doesn't exist on Google by that common name. You would have to look it up by its scientific name. And I can also tell you that the picture in the book is actually not of a Peruvian sand runner, but it's an animal very closely related to it.
Oh, it still looks like something I want to burn with fire.
Oh,
I didn't realize that wasn't actually, wow.
Essentially like that, like same body shape and everything, just there's only one picture of a Peruvian sand runner. They're that obscure. So I was like, oops.
Dang. What would you say is the most obscure? It's not the Peruvian sand runner, is it?
Like of all the animals in the book?
Yeah, what do you think is the most obscure?
I don't know. It's tough to say because, like, I mean, that would qualify as one of them for sure. Simply because, like, you can't find it. You know, like if you try to Google search Peruvian sand runner, it's not going to come up. I don't know. Maybe this book will change that. Who knows? But,
I hope so.
I kind of actually like that also for a story purpose. Okay, because the fact that is something that can exist, like, oh no, this animal is so obscure, there is only one picture of it, and I mean that's basically like a cryptid in a weird way, but this does exist, like it's proven to exist, unlike a cryptid. But
well, that's kind of where I'm at, is like looking at these not as like taking the animal itself and saying this is horrifying, but looking at just the circumstances around them or even features that they have and seeing how those could translate into something you could present with, say, a creature, a cryptid, or something you could evoke that's monstrous or in some way in horror. Because again, you think about all the critters that exist in the world, and you can look at how features of creatures. See what I did there? Creature features, if you will, are always like it's really hard to make a monster without looking at something that already exists in nature and just amalgamating it in some way. So. What I wanted to kind of, like I said, what I wanted to challenge us on, and we kind of started with arthropods, is maybe we at least discuss one creature from each section, and we could even, or one or two, because we could pick out some of our favorites and ones that stuck out to us, and see what we can do. How y'all feel about that? Idea. Yeah.
So, I will say, if you are trying to write a story, do not write your story like the Peruvian sand runner. Actually use search engine optimization and try to get your story on a Google list at all.
Yes.
So I have a question. The Peruvian sand runner is a camel spider, correct?
Yeah.
Have any of y'all seen that photo from, it's probably like 20 years ago, of those American soldiers like in the desert holding a camel spider? That the perspective on the photo is all messed up, so the camel spider looks way, way bigger than it actually is.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Now I'm going to have to look this up, and then I will probably cry.
Post it.
I found it. I'll send it to the group. The reason I bring it up is because you said the Peruvian sand runner sounds like it could be a cryptid, and this photo, unironically, for like 10 or 15 years before it more widely became like, no, it's just forced perspective. That's why it looks so weird. This photo basically was treated like a cryptid photo.
All right.
It's real bad. It's
well, that's two together, though.
Ah!
Oh, that's two of them. Oh,
yeah.
You're right. I've never noticed that.
On the bottom of the other.
It still looks like it's the size of a palm. Fuck that thing with fire.
It looks huge because of the perspective. Yeah. I remember seeing this photo when I was like a kid, when it first started getting shared around a lot. And you saying that the Peruvian Sound Runner sounds like a cryptid just reminded me, like, that actually is a thing that because of this photo, and like people who live in the US not knowing what camel spiders are, like people were like, there's no way this is a real photo. Like this has to be like a fake animal. There's no way that an animal actually looks like this,
Yeah,
I mean, that's like David was talking about. Like, you can take animals, like, just that are not as well known, and you don't even have to really adapt it all that much to come up with a monster, like, design that is unsettling. And I think it's cool to use real life examples specifically, because then you can more easily come up with a description, if that's something that you want. But, I always like that subtle description in horror where it's not giving you everything, so you could talk about like it having, the claws and everything, and how like spiders have like tiny little itty bitty claws at the end of their feet, stuff like that. Like you could talk about that and not really give it away, even the size, I don't know. It's fascinating what you can do with what already exists.
Actually, okay, I'm debating if I should talk about. Did you guys ever see the movie Nope yet?
Yes.
Yeah, we saw Nope.
Okay. Spoilers for Nope. Big spoilers ahead. Should I? No.
It's great. It's great. Go watch it if you haven't.
It is.
Yeah. One of the things I find interesting is because it turns out the monster or the UFO in the movie is a creature, but that creature takes a lot of inspiration from aquatic creatures, specifically like a jellyfish. But if you think about it, a lot of aliens tend to take inspiration from aquatic life, probably because that's the closest we have to being able to view strange animals.
There's so much of the ocean we've never seen, and like you think about all the creatures in cosmic horror tend to have like fish-like or aquatic inspiration. I mean, look at Great Cthulhu.
Yeah, or that documentary that James Cameron did, The Abyss.
Yeah.
Wait, is The Abyss the monster?
It's the alien, the deep sea alien movie.
That's right.
I'm being a little shit boy.
Yeah, it's all good.
It's my favorite documentary.
Where's Benjamin when you need him?
I don't know. Get him in here.
He couldn't be bothered. The reason we're doing this and not, well, besides sponsorship, and not playing Curse of Strahd is because Benjamin.
Because fucking
Benjamin couldn't be here. Anyway, before we go too far from arthropod, those arthropods, though, I want to say my personal pick is actually the Canokia.
The Squilla mantis. Oh, wait.
Because it's basically a, it's
the mantis shrimp.
It's a pistol shrimp. It's like a punching shrimp, but instead of punching, it spears.
Is it the same that is it that same type of shrimp that was like so colorful and it does the 1-2 punch like that was?
Yeah, from what I read.
What you're talking about, I think is probably like a peacock mantis shrimp.
Okay.
So like mantis shrimp, they basically come in two forms. Like there are the punchy boys with the like the club ends. I feel like those are the ones that get more like attention, but there are also
fisticuff shrimp.
These spearing type, and that's what this particular mantis shrimp is. It spears.
Oh.
The spearing is scarier to me. Just the idea that it can just lance out that fast and that hard and then impale stuff.
Well, just like the idea of like, like there's a dark hole and you can't see inside the dark hole and you don't know what's there and you're just like creeping up to the dark hole, like, I wonder what's going on in this hole. And then all of a sudden there's like a spine in your chest.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh, I felt that. Holy shit.
It's
that
creepy.
fast.
Now I need to look at this picture of it again.
It's back it's back there. Back in that section.
That's the best form of abstinence only birth control is just telling that story you just told.
Choice.
I'm so I don't know what I'm on tonight. I'm sorry, but no,
I don't know what that means.
This is peak comedy. Just like what happens. Peak comedy is when you peek into a hole and get a spine in your chest.
So I'm looking through, and there's a point where it says mantis shrimp or stomatopods, and I know it isn't what I think it is, but when I first read it, I thought it was stomach pods, and all I can think is the the spine into your stomach. And I'm like, oh no.
Oh, it's destiny. But the crazy part about these particular mantis shrimp, so they're actually, hold on, sorry, I had a hiccup. They're actually being taken over in the Red Sea, or by the Red Sea mantis shrimp.
Yeah.
And like, so that concept in and of itself too, like, is like a horror thing of this idea of two, like, you know, somewhat similarly equipped animals. And if we wanted to talk about monsters, you know,
yeah,
and we like, there's like, oh, there's this like crazy monster, creepy, you know, and it, you know, it's living in this one spot, but then without knowing about it, there's this whole other creepy monster trying to like remove that particular creepy monster, and it's like, wait, what? Like,
yeah, that's a whole thing too. Like, it's a twist. It's that twist thing. It's like, you thought that was bad. Here comes the one that's even worse. That's always
exactly.
And actually, I gotta ask, for the Red Sea mantis shrimp, are they punchy boys or stabby boys?
As far as I remember, they're stabby as well. But,
so they're gonna have a sword fight.
I think it would be more of a sword fight. Yeah. Let me look.
Oh, that'd be kind of badass. And then if you were the victim in this would be someone who's not from their land. I could see this as like a sci-fi or a fantasy horror where it's like someone gets stuck on this world and they're caught between these two creatures.
See, the book is already a source.
They're stabby.
All right, so stabby. So they're gonna joust for dominance.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be
joust for dominance.
They're gonna joust for dominance.
Fast jousting, the fastest jousting in the West. Wait.
They're gonna be spine slingers.
What are the creatures that penis joust? I forget.
What?
Humans?
I mean, yeah.
On Dick Fight Island.
Huh?
Yeah. On Dick Fight Island?
Dick Fight Island.
No, I swear to God, there is creatures that they fight with their penises.
Again,
I'm gonna look this up. I swear to God.
I'm not sure.
Oh, here it is. The flatworm penis fencing.
Oh,
they're flatworms. Okay.
Penis fencing is mating behavior engaged by a species of flatworm called the Pseudobissurus hancocknus.
Oh my God.
They couldn't help themselves while they were naming it.
Pseudobissurus hancocknus. Species which engage in a practice are hermaphroditic. Each individual has both egg-producing ovaries and sperm-producing testes.
Okay. But then they establish dominance by sword fighting.
Yeah.
Fencing, specifically.
Okay.
You know, it's funny that we talk about this animal that's named after the peen. Mm-hmm. There's actually an animal in this book named after the vag.
You know what's funny?
Wait,
I'm literally looking at that page right now.
Oh my God!
Because I wanted to talk about the twin-sailed salp.
Yeah.
The Thestis vagina.
That's its name. Yep. There's a vagina creature in here.
Yep. So not only do we have some phallic imagery for your horror, now we have vagina dentata. Except honestly, this critter looks like almost ephemeral. Just like it just it's just a gossamer creature that you could see its digestive tract and everything. Wow.
Are these the boys? I can't remember. Okay, for context, I wrote this almost a year ago. So like I've read a lot about other animals since then. Are these the ones that they have like super, super dense poop? I'm trying to like read through it really quick.
Now I'm trying to look up.
Yes. But the last paragraph on the first page, yeah.
Last paragraph on the
first page. They have massive.
They have like
dense
rocket
stools.
poop.
Dense
They're so
stools.
Compact. They don't just sink to the bottom of the ocean; they plummet. So, like the idea of like having poop so heavy that you just sink.
That's horrific.
It's like instead of like don't eat before you enter the water, it's like don't enter the water before pooping.
Don't swim underneath these things.
No, God.
You will be killed by plummeting poop. And also it's also fun fact. I wanted to read this verbatim. The meaning of vagina back when it was used to denote the twin-sailed salp wasn't in reference to human bodily anatomy, but the world's other meaning, a sheath. The man who gave the twin-sailed salp its scientific name seemed to think it was sheath-like in appearance and named it accordingly.
True. It's a sheath. Yeah. That's the other definition for vagina.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this UCA has the most usage of the word vagina in it.
I think this might actually hold the record. Yeah, I don't know how often we have actually used specifically.
All right.
None? I don't think. I think other euphemisms for the vagina have been used, but
like cock sheath.
Well, there was that time that Alan was on Choice Strikes was discussing having sex with ghosts.
Oh, that's right.
That sounds like the most Alan thing that I've heard in a while.
It's pretty Alan.
He got angry at me because because he's like, would you have sex with a ghost? And I was basically saying probably not. And he's like, why not?
Also, he said you didn't get to if a ghost just showed up and wanted to go down, like you wouldn't care who the ghost was because you'd get to say you had sex with a ghost.
And I said, well, do I get to choose? He's like, no. Well, what if I did get to choose? He said,
if it's the ghost of B. Arthur, you're going to say no.
I'm like, yeah.
Anyway, sea potatoes, anybody?
Would you like a sea potato?
I think my favorite thing about the sea potato is the fact that they build tunnel systems. And build these and with other creatures come and hang out in the tunnels they built.
Yeah, right. So yeah. I like that, like tying it into a horror element. The idea of like when you go swimming. And like you think, oh, I can see the bottom, it's fine, but actually there's like a bunch of animals just teeming right under the surface.
Yeah,
in this like intricate tunnel system.
Now I'm just thinking, going now more in a bodily horror, like if you accidentally ate a potato and it was a sea potato, and then
and it tunnels through you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's messed up. Oh.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty
there
bad.
You go.
See, nature is like so awesome for taking inspiration. It's great.
It really is.
I will say the best thing about this book is the fact there's not just one, but 3 bat facts.
Oh yeah.
There are 3 beautiful babies in there.
My editor actually was very specifically was like, we need some bats. Like we need the bat love. So I was like, I got you.
I refuse to equate bats with horror. That's tired. Bats are cute and they're wonderful and they eat mosquitoes.
Yeah, bats are amazing, actually. Bactually.
God, we got eaten alive by mosquitoes this summer. I still have like stuff.
Needs more bats.
Yeah, we need more bats.
We need more bats
to eat the.
Save the bats.
Bats are great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I will never have a bad word to say about bats. And these 3 bats, these 3
they're cute.
These 3, yeah.
Actually, speaking of pictures that like you mentioned that like camel spider one, another infamous one that people are like, what the fuck is that? Is this was only from a few years ago, is the big giant bat that was in the Philippines, and it's next like sitting or not sitting, it's hanging right next to the to a motorcycle, and you realize that thing could probably ride a motorcycle, and you're like, holy shit, that's horrifying.
The bat on the motorcycle.
Oh, I've never seen this. Wow, yeah.
Also, wait, I want to see it. Now I want to see.
Here. I'll send a picture.
I'm gonna post it. This one?
Let me see.
Aw, look at the baby.
Yeah, it's cute. But yeah, that's the picture, and people are like, "What the fuck is that thing?"
Yeah, that is a vampire. That is just Count Orlok chilling.
It's so funny that like the big giant bats are the ones that like they just eat fruit.
Yeah.
They're just
also, I feel like the bigger the
babies.
bat, they get. I think the bigger the bat, the bigger bats tend to have like the cuter, more traditionally like quote unquote cute faces.
Oh yeah, they have like the dog face.
Yeah,
the puppy face.
Yeah,
because like smaller bats, they'll have like that flat splayed nose and the little teeth. They're still cute in their own way, but I think like when it comes to evaluating bat cuteness, I think most people will be like, oh, that even though that thing is massive, I mean, it's got a cute face.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's probably, I would assume it has to do with like evolution and everything. If you want me to get technical for a moment.
Please, that's why you're here.
Yeah, like the bats with the smushy face, they tend to be those that use echolocation. Because like flying foxes, they don't use echolocation. They don't need to. Like they're just like, oh, I'm just gonna go find fruit. And so to find fruit, they use their sense of smell, their sense of sight. Whereas opposed to bats that are like trying to catch insects, in the wind, they have to be able to echolocate to have that like sonar thing going on to be able to pinpoint where things are. So I think it's just like a completely different face shape, and like ear shape and all that.
It's honestly really cool. I didn't stop to think about that. But it's like, yeah, you don't need to echolocate fruit unless the fruit is running away.
Yeah, well, that's a horror story, isn't it?
Oh God!
Well, the horrifying part is the story is the bats are acting really weird and like, why is that? And then someone sees a banana running through the forest. They're like, fuck.
Right. Well, that's the sea potato, right?
There it is.
It's on the run.
Yeah. While we're on the subject of the bats, though, I'm going to ask you, since there's 3 bats in here, y'all, what's your favorite of this trio? Because
you're gonna make me choose between the children.
I know.
How dare
I'm gonna
you?
make you choose between the children.
How fucking?
It's hard
dare
for
you?
me too, though.
Let's see. We have the
Well, you have the southeastern myotis.
Yeah.
Which is a little bean, just a precious little bean.
Tiny little bitty baby.
Look at that! Look how small.
It's
small.
Oh yeah, the noctual.
Noctual.
Which someone probably is one of the least obscure of all of the animals in this book.
Probably, yeah. Because it's actually pretty widespread based on where there are. I like how you're very specifically like they're all parts of Eurasia, Japan to England, but not Ireland. Never Ireland.
No Ireland.
No Ireland. Never.
Because there are no bats in Ireland.
Oh my God. But I know it's so... Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just to say, it's so cute. I'm sorry, just making that comment. Go ahead.
I think I'm gonna go with the myotis, specifically because I said the thing that they're born pink with closed eyes and ears, like a young kitten with wings.
My God.
That's just the idea of like a flying little baby cat is funny to me.
Oh.
I'm gonna say the Rousette, because that one you said it's a megabat, but it does use echolocation.
Yeah, that is true.
The idea of a big bumbling baby is adorable to me.
Yeah,
it is pretty small for a megabat though, too.
It's one of the smaller megabats.
Yeah,
I'm with Princess Dank here that the Rousette is probably the cutest of them all, and again, big bubbling baby that can echolocate.
Well, it helps that you put a really cute picture of it with its like blepping with its little tongue. Here we're supposed to talk about horror, but we're reversing it by talking about how cute bats are. This is.
I mean, you brought up the cute bats. Like, sorry,
that's
we're
my
gonna
fault.
like talk about horror references. Like, we got to make sure that everybody knows bats are actually cute.
We also subvert horror around here. Remember, people were classically afraid of bats for a long time, and I think hopefully most people can just appreciate bats for what they are now. And
bats are extremely beneficial.
And you know what? I'm gonna give some love to the noctual. I think that one was my favorite of the 3.
I just like saying that word.
Noctual? Yeah. It's fun.
I can't find... And none of these look too scary to me.
This is a weird one, but I was trying to think, like, because I was going hard mode with this. I'm like, okay, I'm going to pick, in terms of inspiring horror, our good friend, the bald Wukari.
Oh.
Yeah. Because it's that bright red face with no hair on it. You could probably apply that to something that's not a Wukari and make it kind of terrifying. Like imagine seeing like a cloaked figure off in the distance, and when they turn to face you, they have a bright red face that's completely bald, no hair.
Ooh, that is like, it just kind of give me like creepy goosebumps, like just hollow black eyes.
Yeah.
So David, what you're saying, David, is that bald people scare you. You're on record saying that, right?
That's what I'm hearing.
I may or may not have deep-seated concerns about losing my hair.
Okay, fair. No, I agree though. Encountering one of these guys, like just completely in the dark or something like that, yeah, that would be pretty freaky.
I'd catch you off guard for a split second and be like, "Oh wait, that is a monkey."
Well, look at its teeth though. Like I think, or if I look,
yeah, that's one hell of an underbite.
Yeah.
Oh, they have extremely strong teeth. So if you wanted to take it further, like you could talk about how like the cloaked figure with the bald red head can like unhinge its jaw, because like the Wakaris, they have like they can break through like Brazil nuts, which are basically
right.
like
shit.
They're like coconut sized nuts, and they do that with their teeth. I mean, they have very, very strong jaws.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
that's nuts.
Like if this thing turned, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh shit, and then it comes at
you.
It lunges, and you lift your arm up, and then it bites down on your arm, and then
your arm comes off.
Your arm is just gone.
Yeah.
Nom nom.
See,
that's the bite of 87.
Have you noticed that I realize I'm taking things a step further? Like, oh, could you imagine this?
No, this is good. See, this is the kind of stuff that helps.
You're like, ooh, this is eerie, and then I'm like, yeah, could you imagine biting it off?
No, that's good.
No, I mean,
good. It's all good.
Some people like that too. We need all different types of horror.
We do.
I feel like what my pick was for the mammal section. I feel like is a kind of horror that is like almost like a fundamental kind of horror, right? It's the brush-tailed phascogale.
That was mine too, but explain why.
I'm assuming we have it for the same reason, because they're semmelparous, like an octopus. So basically, when male brush-tailed phascogales mate, like the octopus, they go die, and that concept in a mammal is just mind-boggling to me. Like, you know, because like a lot of people are like, oh, you know, poor octopuses, you know, they have sex and then they die. It's so sad. But that is not restricted to invertebrates. That happens in mammals.
That's why you really gotta be. That's why you gotta be really selective, because if you know you're gonna die when you do the deed,
yep,
you better be ready, and it better be a good round.
Yeah. So like that, there's a horror story. Like. Humans, they can have sex, but only once.
Oh gosh.
Mine actually.
You said, but only once, and my mind immediately went to fucking Duffy. You mean you can talk, but only once? I don't make the rules, Phil.
From a talking cat.
Oh, right. I'm sorry. I did not remember that the name was Duffy.
It's okay.
It's been far too long since we watched that movie.
That was such a good time, y'all. We all watched it. And,
so good.
Actually, my reason is, well, first of all, they're small, but I imagine them being bigger. I think another thing it was the fact that it said they're carnivores. Yes, specifically they eat insects, but imagine if they were a lot bigger, then they're still carnivores.
Oh, and they could like jump like they do.
Oh God.
Yep.
Oh.
You know, watching anything much bigger, you know how like you see little animals and they always move in like almost imperceptible, like they like bip 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 bip, like really fast like that.
I just think of that like, did you know lions can jump 30 feet? And it's like leap. They can leap 30 feet. If they could jump 30 feet, everybody would have had a heart. Someone drew a picture of a lion jumping 30 feet in the
air. There'd be lions flying through the air.
Oh God.
30 feet straight into the air. Like, holy shit. I think it's now I'm wondering now I'm gonna it's 36 feet. I'm sorry, they can leap 36 feet.
That's still far.
Yeah, that's pretty far. I'm gonna post this picture. David's dying.
All I had to do was see it. Yes, this is so good for this. Like once again, for this non-visual medium that we are. Here we are sharing pictures and reacting to them. That's what I love so much about this dumb podcast. The fact that you all still listen to this is kind of a wonder to me.
I do have the next animal that I also find quite horrifying.
Is this still a mammal?
No, it's a bird.
Ooh, I did want to talk about birds because I feel like birds was even harder hard mode. But I want to know if there it is.
I think I've seen this. Yeah, that's. Oh my gosh!
Thumbnail.
It's so good. Yeah.
Thumbnail.
With the red circle around the lion.
Just this lion.
That would be a horrifying animal story. I mean, come on.
Okay,
lion jumping things.
It's not even in your book. It's just the flying lion is the scariest thing. You can imagine.
You mean the flying?
Oh God! I'm laughing and I'm terrified at the same time. This concept of the flying.
Oh my God!
David is broken.
It's hard because when David genuinely laughs, I start laughing.
And then you start genuinely laughing, so it makes me laugh.
Well, it's also hilarious because Discord forever cuts off my laugh, so it comes in and out. So I can't wait to hear how that sounds.
Oh man. So actually, before we leave mammals, though,
that just still makes me think of why am I still laughing? Okay, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Actually, you know what, Kylie? Mention your next animal.
Yes, but I wanted to know if PD had a pick.
Oh yeah.
For mammals?
Yeah. Do you have? Is there any
see, all the ones that we've talked about are a little horrifying when you describe them that way. Well, okay. I think I have two runners up that are horrifying for different reasons.
Okay.
One is the black-lipped Pika.
Uh-huh.
Horrifying because Pikachu is not named after it.
No. This is true.
And the fat-tailed Dunnut, because that's horrifying for people who speak American English to pronounce.
Fat-tailed Dunnut.
Dunnut.
But no. I think honestly, all the ones that you picked are really, really good in terms of what you could do creatively with horror stories.
I think I can.
I think that your justifications
are way I could jump off the Pika.
That flies through the air.
I could fly in off that Pika.
Never mind. Scratch everything I said. I picked the fly-in.
I think flying wins is the most horrifying concept.
I will say the idea of small animals building tunnels, holes in the ground, and then fucking cows stepping in those holes and breaking their bones.
Oh,
yeah, that's pretty bad.
Yeah,
that's pretty bad.
That is pretty bad. It's just you feel bad. It feels bad.
Yeah, you could definitely do some horror with that.
You could. What are birds? We just don't know.
We don't know. They're not real. That's what I've heard.
The horror is the unknown when it comes to birds because birds aren't real, right?
Where's that?
Birds are fiction, right?
Where's that bent ass beaked bird?
Oh, Oh, sorry, Kylie. Let's. I know you're trying to find that one because I want to talk about that one too.
Okay.
But tell me about bird.
Oh, the one I was gonna say is the Mindanao bleeding heart.
Oh.
I just love the idea of an animal that is pretending to look like it's coated in blood.
Mm-hmm.
To be like, hey, stay away from me. The idea of it not actually being coated in blood, but pretending to be coated in blood, I feel like that is totally lined with horror as well.
I can absolutely see that, and I think it's interesting because it's the way that it's done because it's there to try and warn people away, warn other animals, other creatures away from it. But
also trying to be like, hey, you want to have sex with me?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
I'm
like,
covered in
hey,
blood.
look at this blood. Aren't I sexy?
Look at my bloody heart. Don't you want to have sex with me?
So yeah, I just love that. It kind of reminds me of, I think, another really good like potential horror animal is the bearded vulture, because they bathe in like what is it, like iron deposit, like water that has iron deposit. Basically, they turn themselves pink and like bright red, basically.
Yep, which is really cool.
Yeah.
There's so many good creatures in here.
Also, like I mean, y'all have played Animal Crossing, right?
Uh-huh.
I was just gonna say that bleeding heart bird reminds me a lot of what's his bucket? The
Brewster?
coffee. Yeah.
Brewster.
Yeah, so Brewster, he'll ask you if you want pigeon milk.
Yes.
In your coffee. So he's talking like pigeons actually do produce like a milk-like substance.
Yeah.
So when he's asking that, if you say yes, then he's like literally vomiting in your coffee.
That's why you can hesitate. That's why I think the reaction with pigeon milk, isn't it like yes or ew, no?
Yeah, exactly. Just say no. Just say no, kids.
Say no to bird vomit.
I mean, I always say, oh, thank you, sir. It's polite.
But it does, yeah, when I saw it, I'm like, it does remind me of Brewster, and then I saw, like, they produce milk, and I'm like, this is a little too much like Brewster.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Hey, can we talk for a second about the rye bill?
Yes.
Because the rye bill, the horror of that, it's got an asymmetrical beak in a strange asymmetrical way. That's horrible. For certain people, that's like, what? It doesn't even have to
why
be.
do you like this?
Why? But why right angle? Why?
I just have this like I don't know why. Ever since I started writing this particular bird, that the idea of them like trying to pick up rocks, like that's why their beak is curved, right? So they can like slip it more easily under rocks.
Yeah.
The idea of them doing that and either it getting stuck or it breaking because the rock was too heavy. And I'm just like,
oh no.
I hate it. I hate it so much.
That's no.
So
not the rye bills, they're precious.
They're precious.
I love how when you were writing about them, I had no idea that they were so chill that ornithologists could like just walk up and look at their eggs and then walk away, and they would just run around like, hey, look at me, I'm a distraction.
Yep. Can you imagine like having a like a horror story and it's like, oh crap, we have this like, you know, terrifying beast monster thing, and it ends up being that like the closer you get to it, the more scared it gets, and it just like curls up like a little ball and just starts purring like, go away.
Oh
yeah.
I think
like,
that's one of the favorite details. They purr to defend themselves.
They do.
Or try to.
I just think that would be great.
It would be.
Which is the opposite of cats.
Yeah.
Well, actually, yeah, because it'd be like, oh, it's purring. Oh, it must be happy. Touches it, and then it bites his fucking finger off.
Oh, well, they do purr when they're anxious. So
cats do.
Chester. Chester just like you just touch Chester and he starts purring.
He's an easy purr.
Easy.
The cat I grew up with was also like that. As soon as if you put him on the bed next to you and started petting him, he would just say like. I can't even do it. If he had like the deepest fucking purr, like I can't even do it because I can't. I'm not a voice actor.
Oh, that was pretty good.
So yeah, how about you? What did you think about the bird, Eli? Did you find?
So I would pick the marbled godwit. That one is the one that forages in the sand. And I would pick that one because you mentioned that sometimes it gets so wrapped up in foraging that it ends up like submerged all the way up to its head because it's a beach like dwelling bird.
Mm-hmm.
And that idea of like it's so focused on finding food that it's like I could drown right now.
Oh,
that's kind of horrifying. Like
having your focus, like, oh, like what if you're like something uses it, like it uses a part of its body, like a filament or something, to distract you.
Yes.
And then like comes up behind you, kind of like the thing in the D&D movie. Actually, a lot like that.
Which one?
Which one?
Mimic?
Yeah, is that what is that? Was it called? I can't remember what it's called.
What?
The like panther-looking thing.
Oh, the Displacer Beast.
Oh, yeah, yes. The Displacer Beast. It would be a lot like that. Like, oh, I'm gonna dangle this thing over here like an anglerfish, but then, haha, you're distracted.
They did a good job with the Displacer Beast. Yeah, that's a good pick, actually.
Yeah, so like the bird itself isn't like horrifying, but the implications of that is like, oh no, you know?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah. Again, sometimes it's just the implication as less than the animal and more than the implication of what their interesting habits are.
Yes. Yeah.
That's something like it feels like a staggering lack of self-preservation in a weird way.
Yes. Exactly. So the idea that something could make you do that, you know, that's pretty horrifying.
Yeah, that actually is. That's a good choice.
And then we got reptiles. I feel like reptiles are usually an easy go-to for horror because they're not usually cute and cuddly. It is the whole kind of creepy crawly thing that makes people uncomfortable.
I mean, the Tumastuma, I beg to differ. That thing's adorable. I want to give it a big hug. Look at that.
I love them. Their entire story is it's like, oh, it's not really a gharial or gharial, however you say that. It's a crocodile, and it's like,
I mean, it is interesting because they you know, I'm glad you had the bit in there where you're like, they're part of, you know, they're both part of the same family. They're all crocodilians, but they're only members. Yeah, it's debatable. And I thought that was good. I'm glad you had that because, like, you don't stop to think about what is the difference between a gharial and a crocodile besides, like, the longer, thinner, like the much thinner snout, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, you can get into, like, some real debates about that kind of stuff. I tried not to.
I want to see it though. I want to see a debate. I want to see like a throwdown between these people where it's like they're having a wrestling match, but they're also arguing their points about what they're
the crocodilian taxonomy showdown.
And actually, you know what? Get them to get their respective get the representative critters in there to make it even more challenging.
Time to throw down.
I just brought it up because, like, I'm not going to go with that one. That's too easy because it's just a fucking crocodilian. I like that its other common name, though, is the Sunday gharial.
It's just on Sundays.
Just on Sundays, it's a gharial.
Yeah. It's hard. None of them really... none of the reptiles to me, although the name works, cat skink is quite the name.
Yeah, none of them spark, like, spooky, scary vibes.
No.
Except the gharial / Tumastuma.
Yeah.
The one that I will say, one that's... Sorry, our dog just sneezed.
Well, there is a cobra.
I mean, cobras are just naturally scary because they're poisonous.
Well, it's the hood. It's the...
Yeah.
That makes them a little, like, technically, in my opinion, it makes them more badass. But
Okay... We're gonna do this again. Have you seen a cobra skeleton and like seen how it... Oh, you should look that up.
Should I?
Yeah.
Look it up.
It's really cool. I have one that might not be what you would expect from this list. I would pick the Peninsula Cooter.
That's one hell of a name, by the way.
And I would pick the Peninsula Cooter because one of the like little blurb standout facts that you have listed mentions that when they are laying eggs, they have satellite egg chambers filled with like decoy eggs. Mm-hmm. The idea of being one of the decoy eggs is horrifying. Like the whole point, your entire point, because I'm actually not 100% sure if they're fertilized or not. But the whole, like, your purpose in life before you're even born is to be a decoy. that's pretty existentially horrifying, I feel like.
Oh, it's like so you know about cuckoo birds, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So there's a horror novel. Okay, well, it's the horror novel that eventually became a movie. The horror novel is called The Midwich Cuckoos, which eventually became Village of the Damned. But it's the whole idea that like there's a town, and suddenly all women that are of pregnant age that they can get pregnant all get pregnant at the same time, and they give birth to these weird ass kids that are like bleached blonde, blue eyed, and have telepathic powers. But that story, and then basically they're terrorizing the town and trying to take over. Turns out they're actually aliens or whatever. But the idea behind it comes from the book, which was called The Midwich Cuckoos, based off the whole idea that cuckoo birds lay their eggs. It's like, you take care of my child.
Oh, that's
right.
freaky.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty bad.
By the way, so I Googled cobra skeleton. Bad idea, because the first thing that comes up is, do you want to buy the Walmart big ass skeleton?
Oh my gosh.
All of them were like, and I'm like, okay, cobra skeleton, real. Holy shit, this thing looks scary.
Yeah,
my God. This, like, there's a point where I'm looking through and then it goes back to cobra skeleton Halloween decoration. This thing looks more horrifying than this fucking Halloween decoration where it's like, look, we made it scarier. Fuck that.
Yeah. They are quite horrifying with their fancy little ribs.
And then it has this little teeth. Like, there's actually close up where it's like, hey, look, I can stick my teeth out.
Yeah.
The little guy.
Fuck that. Burn it with fire. Not
the cobra, just the skeleton.
Just the skeleton. Burn it with fire. Ooh. If that thing start walking, I'd be like, done. Nope, bye.
Well, I do want to recant my statement earlier about the reptiles and say that I was thinking about this. The two-colored Bacchia has an element that I think is not that I in itself I do not find particularly horrifying, but it's the idea of vestigial limbs, not fully formed limbs on a creature that like, it is kind of funny because you're like, oh, that's just a snake, but then you see the tiny little stubby little forelimbs, and then it's just got two little stumps way in the back somewhere that could have been legs. And it's like, this thing is still halfway through the evolutionary process of not needing those at all, and there's something a little unsettling about that, seeing it in like that state. So I've always found, like, with certain more eldritch creatures, applying vestigial limbs is always a little bit of a good, like, horror angle. So,
yeah, like taking that, like, halfway state.
Yeah.
I feel like you can even apply that to being human, because like the appendix serves no purpose other than to be a potential ticking time bomb, and it's like you don't know if your appendix is ever gonna fail or try to explode, but there's always a chance that it might, and like, it doesn't do shit for you other than potentially, lead you to needing to go to the hospital.
Yeah.
So even humans, I feel like that kind of applies to, right?
Have either of you had your appendix removed yet? Or
I have not.
No, but my mom has.
Yeah, my sister has.
Right.
She had to have it done, like, emergency situation.
Yeah, that was just a couple of years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was the same with my sister too. It was only a few years ago that she had to get her appendix removed.
I remember that.
Have either of you?
No. Nope. So we're still that ticking time.
Well, actually, it's like the scarier version of wisdom teeth.
I was gonna say it's the same thing with wisdom teeth, actually.
What about oh my God, some people have it, some people don't. I forget. It's like, so if you put your thumb and pinkies together, you may see like this little thing lift up, on your wrist. Some people have it. Some people.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, this thing was basically it was something that was used back when back in the olden days when we were more monkey-like and needed to swing across trees or hang from trees. But it's completely useless now. But so sometimes you see it, sometimes you don't. It's fascinating to me because my left hand has it. My right hand does not.
Huh,
Oh.
that's interesting.
Yeah. Remind me to take a picture and show that.
I want to see that. I love
We
that this
tested that
episode is
before.
like the picture sharing episode.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
This is just the picture sharing episode.
Here, David, take a picture.
Okay.
This is great audio.
Great content. Great content. Hold on.
Make sure you get
What
the
weird
camera
things
shutter
does your
sound
body
effect.
do?
My
Tell
tongue
us
can
in the
touch
comments.
my tongue can touch its nose.
I can't move my left eye.
Wait,
Uh,
what?
Okay.
Go ahead.
I mean,
I was gonna make a shitty joke. Please, actually, say the thing that you're gonna say.
well, I can't track left with my left eye. That's a fun fact about me.
Huh. Oh, I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
Because you were telling us about that when we were there. Kayla, I actually have that on both mine.
Okay, so then that is something left over from.
I don't have that, so
You're a monkey.
I am a monkey.
they've gone back
I
to
don't
monkey.
have it at all. I'm 50% less monk than I thought I was.
Aww.
I'm
So
100%.
it's odd
listening.
though because the I guess is that a tendon? I'm not sure.
Oh,
On
fuck.
my left is more prominent than that on my right.
What is that thing called?
All right, everyone listening in, take your pinky and your thumb and put them together and look at your wrist. Is
And
there a
shove
little
them up your
thing
butt.
popping out? If
Oh.
so, you are monk.
Monkey. Congratulations, monkey.
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 Monkey. Oh, banana.
And remember, kids, what they all say: apes together strong.
I'm gonna say while we're here,
Yes.
because we've got mammals, we've got reptiles, we've done birds, we've done arthropods, we've done. Did we do non-arthropod invertebrates? We kind of
because we
did.
talked about vaginas.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and the sea potato.
Oh, okay. I looked it up. So it's a tendon. It's a vestigial muscle called the palmaris longus, and it helped our evolutionary ancestors climb trees because we have no need for it now. According to this Twitter, 15% of people don't have it.
Oh.
Okay.
So David and PD, very special.
Oh yeah,
Indeed,
You're
we
you-
rare.
special. You're
We're a
special.
rare monkey.
Monkey. We're the rare hairless monkey.
Yeah, we're the Baldwakari.
So in terms of
It's
the
us. See, the
amphibians-
Wakari horror just
Okay.
comes from self-loathing, you know.
yeah.
Yes.
Hey,
We have not done amphibians.
amphibians is really hard.
I will
well,
say
They're
no,
all
hold-
adorable.
Hold the
Look at
fucking
these precious
hold,
babies.
hold the fucking phone. There is one that I'm like, this does not sound like a real animal. This sounds
Okay.
like something from Avatar: Last Airbender. The
Okay.
the frog, the turtle frog.
Oh,
Oh,
yes, yes.
That is not a real animal. That is something from Avatar: Last Airbender. I swear to God.
I love the turtle frog so much.
Yeah, the turtle frog is pretty great.
It's like it looks like a baby turtle without a shell. But like I know we're having to describe a lot of things in this episode, but it like really that is what it looks like. It's a frog, but it looks like a turtle without a shell. Like a little turtle.
It's just a little guy.
It's cute. Look at his beefy little legs.
And I actually wrote in this, I said, if I have my Greek prefixes and suffixes correct, Myobatrachus, the genus name for this species, means muscle frog, and they are quite beefy little things.
Look at those beefy boys.
So
Thick
thick and
boys.
beefy. So I was gonna say the Puerto Rican coqui is the one that I think is the most horrifying. The idea that these tiny little itty bitty frogs have the capacity, because like they don't even reach, they're like an inch long, 2 inches long.
Wow.
They make so much noise that in places where they've been introduced, they can reduce the value of your home because people don't want to live there because they're so loud that they mess up sleep.
Like
It's
those
they're like a nuisance.
Yeah, they're like a nuisance. So like this idea of like just a tiny itty bitty little creature that you like, it just seems so, like people just like, poo poo, it's just a little frog, whatever. But that it has that much power, I just think that's so fascinating. And a lot of times in horror, like the monsters and animals, they tend to be like these just like big hulking beasts, like indescribable, like terrifying monsters. And I just really like the idea of this tiny little itty bitty thing, and it's like, oh, I could fuck you up.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Well, that's a classic, like, what's scarier, a big version of a scary thing or thousands upon thousands swarm of little scary thing? And I'd say the latter, honestly.
I think so too. I just feel like thousands is like, you're so outnumbered. And even if you can like kick them a whole bunch, like you're going to get tired.
You are. Yeah. And the thing is that they got the numbers on you. I always think of there's a Stephen King short story I recall. I think it's like Rainy Season. Mm-hmm. And it's actually about a town where it rains frogs, and it's actually quite horrifying. There's like one night of the year where it rains frogs.
But also,
and the horror just comes about the idea of people being inundated in frogs.
Just frogs forever.
Just frogs all the way down.
They have an endless source of protein, though.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So, I mean,
I am frog legs.
There's a bright side to that.
The one that I chose.
Wait, what's that? Or
is that you can eat the frog legs?
Oh, the frog. That's true.
Oh yeah,
the endless protein is the bright side.
Yeah,
the endless protein is.
Have you ever had frog legs before?
No, I've never had frog legs. I haven't eaten meat in a decade, so.
Oh, that's right. I'm so sorry.
That's all right.
No, I never tried them either, though.
I actually have years ago when I was like a teenager in Arizona. It's basically I recall the taste being like salty chicken.
Yeah, I feel like I hear that a lot with meat that is not like typical meat, like like alligator tail and stuff like that. Like people are just like, oh, it's chewy chicken,
Yeah.
Everybody says chicken. Chicken is like the default in a lot of cases, and it's funny because like I've tried to cut back. I'm like I've had varying levels of success on that, on the kind of meat that I will eat if I'm going to eat meat. And when I have the option to get chicken, I will try to get chicken, because at least chicken, as far as I know, correct me on this, is a lot more sustainable than, say, grabbing a friggin' burger every night and contributing to the already bloated, bovine clear cutting. Anyway, never mind. Getting heavy.
This is becoming a horror podcast.
It is. Well, I mean, considering how much cattle ranching is contributing to the slow and steady degradation of rainforests, which therefore leads to climate change. Anyway.
For me, the one I chose was actually not because of what they are, but because of their appearance, the northern glass frog. I just imagine the idea of your skin being so translucent that you can even see the heart. Just kind of uncomfortable. Like, imagine like a creature that looks like that.
Yeah.
That's actually the one that I was going to pick for the exact same reason. That's just like existentially horrifying. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, anything that you can watch its own heart beating, no. Because I definitely had, I don't know if any of y'all have ever had this. I don't know. I had a really, really bad migraine the other night. And while I was laying in bed trying to fall asleep, through the migraine, I just had this realization that I have a spine and ribs, and I could feel my spine in my body, and it was like, oh, I hate this. I don't like this at all.
You gave yourself an existential crisis.
It was horrible. It was so bad. I was like, why did migraine brain lead to remembering bones? I don't like that one bit.
I don't know. It's just something else to make the migraine the worst thing in the world, because migraines are awful. And we still don't understand necessarily what causes them.
I don't either, but they are suckfest.
They're the worst.
They can suck my dick.
I'm with you on the Koki, by the way, though. Just the swarm of tiny frogs that scream really, really loud.
Yeah.
That's a good angle. Fish?
The fish.
Well, I think all we have left are the fish, and I know you had
a
specific one.
Yeah, I made reference to it earlier. There's also a very specific little animal that's trying to get my attention right now. Hi, Gracie.
Yeah.
Do you mind?
She's like, play.
no, we're not playing right now. We'll play after we're done. Future Marine, you're going to have to edit around a lot of shit, possibly.
Oh, she's being cute, though.
I don't care. I'll eat her. You're going to get et.
Fish was kind of tough, I will say.
Well, where is that? Where is that one?
Are you talking?
You know, the one.
What one?
You know what the Oracle said about me and the one. Where is it? Ah, the Moon Eye.
Why the
because the Moon Eye has teeth on its tongue.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah, fair.
And
that's all I have to say, gang. Imagine seeing something or seeing someone who sticks their tongue out at you and that tongue is covered in teeth. Yikes.
That's all you need. Like there's your horror right there.
I'm done. Fish covered. The Moon Eye gave good inspiration there.
Oh yeah. Where's that one that says, oh, it was something I was like, I did not know this, where it apparently has a rough tongue. And then I think what you wrote was those who have held a snail or a slug for a long period of time would have felt its rough tongue. And I'm like, excuse me?
Oh yeah, radula. Snails and slugs have radula, so they have like a scraping, like the way they eat is like with a scraping motion. And if you hold one, you can actually feel it on your skin.
No.
Kayla,
go hold a snail.
No. I'm good. I don't need to. It's okay.
Yeah, I feel like with the fish, I specifically tried to steer away from, like, ooh, weird deep sea. We did talk about the gracile halosaur.
Yeah.
But which is a deep sea fish, but I was like, oh, there's so much out there on weird, creepy fish of the deep that I was like, what about fish that are like right there? You could just look at the water and there it is.
Yeah. I mean, this isn't, again, I think that this is the strength of your book is you're doing like, I could do what all those people are doing, but I'm going to be an animal hipster and I'm going to go find strange animals people don't know about. Oh yeah, well, I know about this and I know about this thing too. And now you can too. Here's the book.
Yeah. And I'm changing the name of my channel to Animal Hipster. Thank you.
Yes. And it's going to be Chester wearing a beanie and
Nice. He'll be
he's gonna have like wire rim glasses. It's gonna be great.
That'll be great.
Let's not forget the blood rocks that look like a beating heart.
Oh yeah, the Eerie.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, which those we actually have discussed in the show, but there was more information in the book about them. Just the idea of like, oh, look at this rock. I'm going to crack it open. It has organs.
Holy shit.
Yeah, they're intense. Yeah, and that's only, we barely scratched the surface.
I'm a terrible salesperson, but if you want to read about these animals and more, Go buy Mind-Blowing Facts About the Planet's Strangest Animals. Kylie, when does it come out? Or the book officially come out?
So it's supposed to come out the end of November 2023. So in just a few weeks as of this recording. And yeah, right before the holidays. Great time to get the book for people in your life who like to read, especially about animals. But yeah, I also, y'all haven't seen it yet, but did you notice when you got the book, it's so soft.
It is!
It's I love how soft it is. I just keep touching it. So nice.
It's very smooth.
You just want to pet the book.
Honestly, what struck me was how colorful it is. This pops.
They did a great job. That was not me. That was all Page Street, the publisher who did it. They picked all the colors. They actually the fonts. The font where it is the colored font where it tells you little facts, little tiny blurbs. We changed. That was one of the changes I made. It was a different font, and I was like, I don't know. You can't really read it that well. So we changed that. And I think they are much easier to read now.
Yeah. Also, I know you're writing, and then as I'm reading, I'm like, yep, this is definitely a Kylie written thing. But your writing has always been very accessible, and so when you're reading it, it doesn't feel like, oh, I'm being lectured. It's
conversational.
Yes, that's the best word. So,
I'm glad to hear that. Because I was definitely, that was something I was worried about. I was like, ooh, is it going to be dry? So I tried. There were actually quite a few more like side quips in the book, but my editor was like, we're gonna run out of space. Like, we have to cut back. And then there were a couple parts. My copy editor, I had a couple things that were like total internet memes, like, and they just like absolutely went over her head, which, like, as they say in the South, bless her heart. She was amazing, but it was so funny when she was like taking the memes literally, and I was like, oh no. I felt so bad. I was like, okay, probably better it's not in there.
But this book comes out at the end of November, correct?
Yeah. So, you can actually pre-order it now. It is available for pre-order. It's on Amazon and Books A Million and Chapters and Barnes and Noble, all those places.
We'll put a link in the description for where to pre-order, but also I because you're saying it's the end of November, guess whose birthday is at the end of November?
Oh yeah, hi everyone. Ooh. Guess whose birthday is, well, at the time of this recording will have been like a couple days ago.
Oh, shut up.
Ooh.
Happy birthday to you.
No.
Okay, unhappy birthday to you.
To you.
To you.
And many more.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birth.
Birth.
As Beth would say, birth.
Birth.
So let's acknowledge that you are old.
Old.
Thank you for coming to. Thank you for listening to the old cast where we are all old now.
Old.
Well, I mean, next year this podcast is turning 10.
Oh, this podcast is in elementary school.
Happy birthday.
Yep, I'm going to send it off to elementary school.
Just a little guy.
Just a little guy, just trying his best, and yet makes the dumbest jokes imaginable. Never really grow up, UCA. Never change.
Never
and actually,
change.
Thank you for listening. Since you're all here, thank you, Eli, Kylie. Thank you both for joining us for this episode.
Thank you for reviewing my book. I feel so honored. I'm just tickled. I'm absolutely tickled.
Well, it's not every day you get to publish a book. It's worth celebrating. I'd say so. And you know what else is worth celebrating is Audible.com. Now on Audible. So who are you going to hire to read the audiobook of this?
I told them I would. I don't know. I don't know.
Hell yeah.
I don't know how it's going to shake down. We'll see. I guess it depends on pre-order sales. Everybody go pre-order the book.
Go pre-order the book.
And then I'll do the audio for it.
Yeah.
Go pre-order the book so Kylie can read the audiobook, and then you can go to our sponsor.
Yeah.
Well, actually, if you really want to support the show, hey, guess what? We've shifted things a little bit. So the podcasts, our podcasts, are now all being on a shared Patreon. That's right. The Midnight Marinera Patreon is now the Creative Horror Patreon. We're doing some housekeeping over there, but it's going to be including content and additional features from all of our Creative Horror projects. In fact, just as we were recording it this evening, I gave Bisme some super secret information so he could get some extra Jameson tape stuff ready to go. So we'll see how quickly that hits. But yeah, I would give you the address, but I think it's going to eventually be patreon.com/creative horror. Right now it's patreon.com/midnight marinera. But as we are sunsetting that name, it's going to shift pretty soon. Keep an eye on the description of this for more information. But yeah, things changing around here, and the future looks interesting. And right now, our strange little animal is demanding we play with her. She is jumping, wagging her tail. I'm surprised she's not barking yet.
David, don't tell them what I'm doing.
Oh.
Good evening, intrepid listeners. This is the Pasta Shade, the host of Midnight Marinera, and this podcast is part of CreativeHorror.com, a network of podcasts and creators working together to build a constructive community of horror fans. For more content like this, visit us at CreativeHorror.com.